They're set for a start at the 1400. Holding them there. They stand. He waits patiently. The gates are back racing. I'm Crafty dwelt at the start, missed it more than a length. Going back, he's a Zeb. Blazing Emerald, Mr. Spree amongst the first to move though. Going away quickly from the gates, Diablo Lad. Speak to Me's going to lob right behind those soon after the start. And Asphalt's on the improve, going forward as well from Calora. Hymns of Eladair, the speed slowing. In behind those when they get going into stride, Great Emotion. It's back there about midfield, down on the inside. In what was a muddlingly run section. They're followed further back behind the Mime Crafty, getting right back into the field. Centrebon, he's a Zeb last at the 800. Mr. Spree had worked away to the front. Mr. Spree by a length. Diablo Lad running second. Asphalt third, a little wider. Over on the inside next, Blazing Emerald though is starting to work up into work calculations nicely here at the 500. In behind them, Speak to Me's travelled well. Then came Calora going up outside of him. Hymns of Eladair was able to work to the outside, found the back of Calora coming into the turn. Right behind those, next of all, Great Emotion. It's looking for the way clear. They balance up. Mr. Spree joined by Asphalt. Asphalt, Calora down the outside, runs on, but Asphalt's got a turn of foot. Asphalt kicks away from Calora. Hymns of Eladair. It's Asphalt though inside the 75 clear, and Asphalt's going to make it a winning return. Asphalt wins. Asphalt scored from Calora. Three of them there. For the photo for third, Centrebon late, Ain't So Bad, and Hymns of Eladair. In behind those, next of all, I'm Crafty, Diablo Lad. Further back behind them, pulling up Great Emotion. Then Mr. Spree. He's a Zeb well back in the field. Likewise back there, Blazing Emerald. And Speak to Me also compounding back there in company of Sweet Tea. Asphalt, number 4. That's a great return. Fabulous performance for the horse who came from a maiden at Bunbury in July to a couple of Westby Platinum victories, and wins today for Josh Crispin. First up, making it 4 from 7. He's a good looking son of Machino out of Fireside, ridden by Brad Parnham. And at 1400 metres, he's delivered a very, very good result for Josh Crispin, beating Calora, number 9, Hymns of Eladair, third. Got the bob of the heads in that photo. There were 3 of them there. Centrebon is 4th. 5th is Ain't So Bad. 4916 the numbers. 4916, 3/4, 1 1/4 of the margins. The time's 1:23.99. He's a good-looking horse, and he's putting it all together now. He's put 4 wins in a line. He didn't trial going into the race. It was 1400. There was a lot to like about this victory of Asphalt this afternoon. And he drew wide as well, so that didn't make the task any easier, but he has ticked every single box. Race 7, the A1 Engineering Handicap, over 1800. 16 will run. They'll go at 350. We'll go downstairs and catch up with Lockie. Josh Crispin's there already. I don't know whether or not Josh expected that type of a performance first up without the trial 1400, but whatever his thoughts might be, he must be getting excited going deeper here into the Springlock.
Thanks, Darren. I'm now joined by Josh, so we'll start there. Darren was just touching upon the fact that, did you feel like he was ready for this first up assignment? He was at 1400 metres on a good 4 here at Ascot. What were your thoughts?
Oh, Lockie, look, I had him in trials on Monday and we ended up scratching him for this race. I had 3 in and I thought I'd be able to draw a gate. I was hoping it was him, but all 3 of them drew wide. So we still went here today and look, I had confidence in the horse. He only had 4 weeks off in the paddock and he's a very clean-winded horse, so he come up pretty quick. I don't work him hard on his gallops and that. He works super on the sand fibre. And that's probably, you know, and it showed today that a good track, mate, he handles a good track, simple as that.
There was so much said about exactly that. All of his form throughout the winter when he was absolutely airborne was on rain-affected going. What gave you the confidence that he was the best horse in this race, even on a good track here at Ascot?
I'm lucky that I ride all my own work, Lockie, so, you know, I get to feel the horse, you know, every day and see how he's going. But the way he was doing it on wet tracks, I know everyone said he was a mudlark. He was winning quite well, and it was only his first prep, so he's only going to improve, I thought, and being on top of the ground, honestly, wasn't going to worry him.
He's still lightly raced, he's still lowly rated. Where to next for a horse like him?
Look, I'm not going to aim anything high. Obviously, it's a stable horse for the staff, and I'll just go through the grades and that's all that he needs to do. And if he comes up pretty quick and he can produce something like that again second up, well, then maybe you've got to look at something a bit lower down in the grades. Well, sorry, a bit lower in a race over the pinnacles and that. But we'll just take him day by day, and yeah, the horse will tell me how he's going.
A great training performance first up, well done.
Appreciate it, Lockie, thank you.
There's Josh Crispin after the win of Asphalt, and here's Brad Parnham.
Brad Parnham joins us now. There was going to be a couple of questions on him. The good track was one of them, but the other was the barrier and what kind of run were you going to get, Brad? And it didn't look like a pretty one.
No, look, to the horse's credit and to Josh's credit, you know, he came here ready today, even though he hadn't had a trial, and I wasn't sure whether to ride him super cold or try for a position, but Josh was pretty adamant that he had him right, so I thought, well, if he's near right, I might as well try to ride him for a position, which we didn't get, but yeah, you know, like I sort of, once I was caught deep, I just tried to keep him sort of under control and in a nice rhythm rather than keep pressing on and burning towards the outside of the leader. So he did it tough, but I did have him in a good rhythm the whole way, and he gave a really good kick at the top of the straight, and it was good enough for him to hold on.
That was the thing I was going to touch on, because Chris had your back on Calora, 3-deep cover, but you sort of dropped him off at the top of the home straight. Nice turn of foot.
Yeah, like I was travelling super, like probably the whole way. And, you know, I knew he was going to give me a good kick, and I just felt, I don't know if it was Chris, but I just felt something starting to make a run, and I thought, oh, I'll let him roll into it, and then as he balanced up, give him a bit of a boot, and he really lengthened nicely. He probably got a bit tired late, but that's to be expected. No trial and being caught deep. So it was a good win, and hopefully he can go on with it.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
There's Brad Parnham. He combines with Josh Crispin and Asphalt, a really nice horse moving forward. They combine to take out race 6 here at Ascot. After the break, we'll be back for race 4 at Leonora on Racing WA TV.